We have a question from Nos Guy, our local judge. He asks, how did Bailey do at the Armory? He started 0-2, but he didn't drop.
No.
I think he won. He went on to win round 3, and he went 1-2, and then dropped.
Yep. Yep. Hey, he only took up half his name there.
Yep. Wes asks right after that. He said, "Same question, but for Ben."
We've already been over this.
I think
we don't need to go back into this.
I think
this is now a state-held secret. Nobody else has to know what happened on that day.
I think
we're just purging it from the memory. Nothing else will ever happen. Unknown. We're doing a system reset. I'm taking a book.
System failure. System failure. System reset.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Cliff.
System failure. System reset. Never happens.
Bio updating.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 18 of Big Deck Energy. Joined with me today is Tyler Barrett and Ben Clifford. We'll be going over a tier list of the heroes that we think will be in what tier after the LLing of Iyslander.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get into our weeks of fab and some spoilers. I know you're excited about that, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
We're all excited about that in different ways.
Yeah, sure.
But why don't we get into our weeks of fab first? How was everybody's week? What did you get into, Ty?
Just did an armory. I know all the skirmishes are going on right now. And I think for the most part, like everyone from our shop has only done the one, and it was at our shop. So not much on the skirmish news. But we did a CC armory this weekend. Made it to the finals. Played against Tanner in a mirror, both on Azalea. I think he's actually playing my exact 80. So it was a true mirror. Which, I mean, yeah, hey, shout out to him for asking for help and not being afraid to, ask for a deck list or whatever. I've been working on the list for a while now and stuff. And
you got it dialed in.
Yeah, I think so. It's actually, it's a lot different than, say, like Brody's list from the Realm list last weekend.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit of different cards in there, but yeah, I think especially with Iyslander leaving, it kind of opened up some slots. Been trying to use those slots to fight the warmongers. But it was good. I lost, actually, to Tanner. So, again, shout out to Tanner. He went back-to-back, took down both of our armories these past 2 weekends.
With 2 different rangers, too.
Yeah, right.
Lexi and Azalea.
He's just starting to kind of get Azalea, I would say, like under his belt. There was a turn in our game towards the end where he kind of mid-turn realized that he opted the card to the bottom when he should have left it on top. I think it was an arrow. And I just told him, I said, hey, just take it back. Put the card on the top. You don't want to just, bungle your turn just for, boneheaded mistake like that. And plus, like, I don't want to, like, win a game against someone like Tanner off of a misplay like that. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, from that point on, he just kind of took tempo and ran with it. Oh, yeah, dude. It didn't feel close. He had to knock the death whistle turn 1. I like to go second pretty much in any of the games. So few matchups I like to go first, but in the mirror I feel like going second is fine unless they draw a knock to the death whistle, which he did.
Yep.
And he red ledgered me with like a seek. My turn was, well, I couldn't do anything because of red and ledger. Couldn't even load the bow and shoot it because the bow was in action.
Yep.
And so it was really forced.
The instant.
It wasn't even a seek. It was an inertia token. But with the inertia token, my first turn was just pass. It didn't even get to Arsenal. So I was so far behind in that game.
I remember coming in. I didn't do much in Fab, but I came into the shop at the tail end of the armory, and I watched that final few turns, and he was able to just go with the pumps. And
yeah, proud of him. He's coming around. Played a matchup against his dad on Bravo as well. Rick was playing Bravo. that was a game that I barely squeaked out of. Fatigue Shot did a lot of heavy lifting. Let me tell you what. That card just screws with all the math that Bravo can. Well, it's not even the math. It's just the value they're getting out of their high pitch cost cards. And with the Dominate, sometimes you're forced to give Bravo like a full grip, and it kind of sucks because they can do a lot with a full grip. But with Fatigue Shot hitting, it makes their full grip a little less full grippy, let's say. But yeah, went 2-1. I threw my son's birthday party at the shop. It was pretty cool. He wanted to do a card theme birthday party, which was...
I like it. it.
Yeah, so we invited some of his friends over. We did like a little Pokemon scavenger hunt. I hid little figures around the shop, and we did Pokemon trivia, and I got them all like little starter decks and some packs to open, and we did kind of our own little tournament. Let me tell you what, half of them didn't even know how to play Pokemon, so that was a challenge.
Was it teaching?
Yeah, for sure. We only got to play like the one round and then switched over to some video games and stuff, but in between rounds of the armory, I was like decorating the shop and putting balloons up and streamers and all that good stuff. So
there you go.
I was kind of racing around with my head cut off.
I got him a couple packs while I was there, and he didn't rip anything. I felt bad.
A couple of the guys got him some packs. He was lucky. He's like, how come your friends give me birthday presents? I'm like, well, because my friends are like your friends.
Yeah.
It's like they do that because they care about you and I. So
we're there for him. I was really hoping he ripped something good. So then he's just like, yes.
Sean traded him a foil or a rainbow Mewtwo V-Star. Yeah, he pulled it from his few packs he got, and then he like traded it for like some crappy few dollar card, but it was like, I looked at Sean and I gave him like the old nod of approval. Yep. Like, dude, you're the shit, because you just made his day.
Yes.
Yes. But Bailey came to Lorcana as well. Yeah. That's another thing in the old card world this week. That was fun.
He enjoyed it, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he got a couple wins off with his starter deck. I don't think he really put any new cards in it. Yeah. It'd be awesome to have him.
Do you know what color combo he had?
I want to say it was the yellow steel, or what is it? Yellow steel? I forget exactly the starter deck colors, but another one of our fab buddies is getting into Lorcana as well, so it's like we're getting a couple guys to convert, which is nice.
Hey, the more the merrier.
I know. Dylan, shout out to Dylan. He's getting into it. And
yep.
He might get his girlfriend into it too, and she's a big Disney fan.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man. You throw some Mickey Mouse on a cardboard, it's gonna sell.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, I mean, you throw
the card game's good.
Aladdin,
it's actually
Elsa.
A good game too.
Yeah, it is. The mechanics are actually pretty easy, and it's like games go decently quick.
It's definitely like a good change of pace from Fab. Like, I love Fab, best card game in the world. But when I sit down and play some Lorcana, it's like, I don't have to think. Like, yes.
I know. It's like a breather. You just get to sit down and enjoy yourself.
No, I know. What about you? Did you play any card games this weekend, Josh?
So for me, it was just like I said earlier, showed up to the shop, saw those few games, wanted to say hi to Carter for his birthday, check in with everybody. Yeah. But I was busy doing other stuff.
Oh, dude, you came through in the clutch with those Nintendo Switch games. I don't know what happened to my Mario Kart and my Smash. But.
I know. I'm glad that I was able to have them right on the ready for you, too. Yeah, you're just like, I need them. I was like, I gotcha.
Well, I told him, him and his friends can play Super Smash and Mario Kart, and then it comes time to, like, gather up the games, and I'm like, where the hell are these? Of course.
Especially asking him, too. Like,
you can't have anything nice.
Why can't I own it? Come on. But, no, not much for me otherwise, just theory craft. And I really have been just, like, itching to play a random deck, like a new deck. Going through my equipment, seeing what I kind of want to build. Low-key just want to build a Kano.
CC?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to now. Yeah.
But why not? Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd just be fun. I don't really play Wizard a lot, so learning the mechanics of a Wizard more would just be, a lot better. And I don't know. I think more fun.
Well, yeah, it's just something totally new and out of the left field.
Yeah.
So it's
completely out of my wheelhouse.
On the other hand, have not been thinking about a new deck. I've been loving Azalea. Just loving that deck.
I was thinking about building that too. I got everything for that as well.
Oh, you'd really piss off some of our locals because they are already mad about the Ranger meta.
I know.
Whatever. Just
I
play
know.
the deck you like.
Well, we got heavy hitters coming. you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Cliff, how about you? You get it up to anything in Flesh and Blood?
Oh boy, here we go. Take two.
Yeah,
Played in
sorry,
an army
guys.
this weekend.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let's. He means
Let's
take
address
two
that.
because we had to re-record emergency red alert today. We lost our basically 2-hour episode.
Yeah.
Due to audio
Yeah.
issues and this weird like white noise that was coming through. I think it was actually just like our third mic that we had hooked up that Bailey. Well, he wasn't here, so we could have just turned it off.
But we left it going, and it just messed up the whole thing.
It sucks.
We couldn't hear Cliff, so we're doing an emergency day late
Yep, one day
night
late.
Recording.
Yep.
So
So we have already heard Cliff's woes of his
Yes.
armory this weekend, but let's hear it again, Cliff. What what happened?
Woes indeed. So played in an armory on Sunday. It was a blitz event. Decided to break Riptide down from the CC deck to a blitz deck with what I'm kind of trying to do with him and see how it goes. And ended up 1 and 2, but the deck feels good. I like the way it's playing. Just need to sequence a couple of things better. But yeah, the dog on Sunday was an opponent on an Olivia deck, and at the end of the game, I was on 1 health, had New Horizon up, had a trap in arsenal, 3 traps in hand with a non-attack action in hand as well. So I've got 4 block for just regular phase, and then shit ton of ping and block in the reaction phase. Levy is on 4 health, 2 cards in hand, got like 7 blood debt. So all I have to do is live or ping them, right? Should be simple, straightforward. And they throw a command and conquer at me.
Yeah,
And I just go, well, that's tough.
that'll do it.
The absolute kicker of this whole situation is my opponent was 6 years old.
no.
Oh, Cliff. You sure you weren't going easy on him?
I wish I could tell you I was. I'm pretty sure he's 6. He could be a couple of years older. I don't even know my nephew's age, but I'm pretty sure he's 6.
Sure. Hell, man, that's
He's somewhere around there.
That's what you said. It was Garrett's kid, I think, right, or something.
It was Garrett's kid. His name, I don't know. Kid has some relation to Garrett. His name is Forrest, and he absolutely played like a fiddle.
Love it. You could say you didn't see the forest for the trees, right, Cliff?
We're not doing this conversation again. No.
Come on.
It's like the best pun ever. Because it's so
But
true.
It is.
Wes came over today, and we got some games in, and I was like, okay, Riptide is cooking. So I don't know what the fuck happened on Sunday. If I just got caught with my pants down, probably very real. Probably don't want to say that considering I was with a kid, but hey.
No.
Oh. Okay, well, when you're playing a D-React deck and he plays a CNC, you accurately said it.
fuck."
Your pants were down, yeah. There's not much you can do there.
Yeah, it was tough. Not much I think I would have changed how I played that game. That's just how it lined up, I think.
Yeah. Pretty cool to see Levia, though. Always love seeing that hero. Speaking of
Yeah, and I
Levia,
was like,
go ahead.
sorry. I was like, this could be interesting because, not a whole lot of go again and stuff in Levia decks unless they're doing the stuff from Banish, which there was a little bit of that. I didn't get as many trap pings as I would have liked throughout the game.
Yeah.
But at the end, I had one of the traps in Arsenal that you have to play, so playing that's a ping. I had like a Sink Below, a Frailty trap, and then a Pitfall trap. So I thought I was golden.
Well, speaking of Riptide, Sean played Riptide in CC. I'm pretty sure he went 2-1. Yeah.
Attababe, Sean.
Yeah, he beat up, I want to say he beat Bailey, but I don't remember exactly. Bailey was there. I think he was close to 0-2 dropping.
Well, he went 0-2.
Yeah, he did, but he played the last one.
Then he went 1-2.
Yeah. But no, Sean went 2-1, I'm pretty sure. Beat Carter, and I think it was the first time he beat Carter. So shout out to Sean. Carter's a good player, and not that Sean isn't,
Yeah.
but
No. That's
Sean always brings the whack ass decks, just gets beat up on and doesn't care and does it with a smile.
goes for one combo.
But no,
one
Riptide
combo.
is doing good for him. So I don't know. Maybe it's coming around.
Hey.
But you were saying something about Levia, and that kind of brings us into the top 8 of Bangkok. Didn't she top 8?
She did, actually.
Pretty cool. This last weekend we had a Battle Harden.
Yes, CC Battle Harden, and the top 8 was 1 Levia, 2 Bravo, 2 Azalea, and 3 Katsu.
3 Katsu, man. No Phis, huh?
No Phis,
No
all
Phis.
Katsus.
Do you guys think Phi or Katsu is the better ninja right now in CC?
Katsu.
Cliff.
I've got to go with Katsu too. His ability just to get the chain links he needs for the combo pieces is nice. I also like the card selection a little bit better. Although I have a worse record in Defy for most of my decks, just because, as I've said before, he has the mystifying cosmic power just to throw another card on the chain link.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning Katsu with this question. I know the community's kind of torn, or at least like it's been a topic of discussion, but like...
What are you talking about? 5-1 Worlds, man.
No, I know. I think in the ninja community, I think they think Katsu's better. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird because like they play different headpieces. You don't see the mask momentum on Phis, and it's like it kind of feels like. I mean, I guess the pouncing links. You could argue it's better than the mask. Obviously, you have that lava burst or the assault to wound. You just have it at the ready.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear, every time I'm playing a Phi and I realize, oh yeah, okay, I don't need to block any of these in a certain sequence to prevent the mask. It feels good, like sitting across from a Phi without mask. I hate Mask of Momentum. I absolutely hate that card.
It's basically requiring you to block with at least one card a turn just to stop that trigger.
Yeah, and you have to like.
And what sucks is that's a good trade most of the time.
It's like either you're like blocking the second Kadachi with like a piece of armor, or you're like trying to full block the third hit. And I feel like blocking the second Kadachi is generally like the right move, but sometimes you just can't. And like throwing a 3 block in front of a 1 attack sucks. So the math when you're trying to block it can get weird, and you're not getting as much value as you should be. Yeah, Mask Momentum is just so good. I feel like that card is just one of the best equipment pieces.
It's great. Anything that has draw a card on it, good.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
No, for sure.
Most of the time. Tech Lovasin is a different story.
Did you see the new spoiler for Riptide?
Yeah, I did.
Card is straight ass cheeks, and it says draw a card. It says draw 4 cards on it.
That's true. That is true.
We'll get into that later.
Bookmark. Did you just say that card is ass cheeks?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yeah, we're going to bookmark on that too, because we're going to talk about
sweet
that
summer
later.
child.
Yeah, just put a bookmark in the ass cheeks, and we'll get back to it, okay?
But in the finals of the Battle Harden, we also had it as Azalea taking on a Bravo, and Bravo took it down. So Bravo ended up winning. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Tough matchup for Azalea.
Yeah.
The amount of
Not
armor.
favored.
Yeah, the amount of armor that Bravo has to get around the dominate stuff, and there's like not a lot of relevant arrows that Bravo cares about, or that you want against Bravo, I should say. Red and Ledger can kind of just be like, oh, whatever. Bravo just gets to still attack with a big attack usually, or like throw a spinal at you. Yeah, a lot of their attacks are good against Azalea. They get to play Warmongers for basically free. Yeah, just a tough matchup. I've yet to kind of figure it out. I feel pretty unfavored every time I sit down from one. Like I said, I've been trying out Fatigue Shot and like E-Strikes and stuff for Warmongers, but while it does help, it doesn't feel like enough, But yeah, it does not surprise me. I think Bravo right now is like, it's like a good time to be playing Bravo. It feels like,
it is.
With like losing the Iyslander matchup, that we'll be seeing Bravo for, or we'll be seeing him at the top of the meta for the, foreseeable future.
Well, typically anytime we get into a new meta and like a hero that's been like hindering the meta for a long span of time, it always, goes straight to aggro metas. Always. So people come out with their, Bravos and some of those Azaleas, decks that can kind of fight those aggro decks. And right now, Dromai is the deck to beat. And everybody's targeting Dromai. I don't think we're going to see Dromai take down a big event.
That's one of those classic matchups, though, the Bravo Dromai matchup, where both sides think they're favored. It's
true.
It's classic.
I lean on the Bravo side of being favored, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I think that Bravo and Brutes just lick their chops looking at Dromai. I think that's my take on it. I'm not really scared of a Dromai if I'm playing my Reinhardt deck. I'm like, everything I have pops your dragons. I don't really care if you have the thing that lets you get the action points. I'll just pop the next one. Because then I just swing my club at you and draw cards from your hand.
No, the one I am worried
just
about.
Sit there and delete your board state.
The one I am worried about, though, that's aggro that can get through some of these other heroes like Bravo and Azalea is Dash with the multiple action points in a turn.
Yeah, Dash has always kind of been like a tough matchup for Bravo.
There's a lot of scary things Dashes can do now. I really like the Bravo matchup. There are a couple cards that really screw with Dash, though. The one that makes them lose their card type so they're no longer Mechanologists. Mm-hmm. That's a hell of a wrench to throw in Dash's deck.
Yes, that is true. Well, off of the Battle Hardened, there was also the Realm Rumble. And we had Brody Spurlock actually taking that one down.
Yeah, he was on Azalea.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking awesome to see him kind of do well at the beginning of the year, right off the back of Outsiders releasing. And then, do you remember he played in a mirror against, was it like, who was it? It was like the Azalea guy, Levi? Anyways, they played. Rouch. Yeah, they played in I think it was like a realm thing. It might not have been the realm, but it was a different grassroots type of tournament. And Brody won, and I remember like everyone was pissed. Not pissed, but it was just kind of ironic that like she finally was good and finally did well at a tournament, but there was no LL points attached to it. Do you remember? But yeah, looking at Brody's list, he's got a couple of unique things I would say about the list. He cut yellow and blue Bolton shots, which is pretty wild. Obviously, there's a reason, and I'm not saying he's wrong by any means. He's a much better player than all of us probably combined. But like, just being an Azalea player, I feel like that's kind of I start with the Bolton shots, all 9 of them most times. He had 2.
That's kind of your go again arrow.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and it's good to have 2 of them with your like rain razors and stuff. But he had 2 barbed undertows, which was pretty cool. But he cut out on like the blues, so kind of getting that aim counter would be like less consistent. You almost always need a blue to do the aim counter thing. And then barbed undertow being 1 cost, the aim counter being the 1 cost off the crow's nest, and generally like the other cost coming into your being put into your death dealers, like it counts for the full blue. But I was thinking that card actually is just like probably sweet tech into Bravo. You just name blue, and then they can't pitch any blue cards, and their whole turn's fucked.
Yeah.
So I kind of like made me start thinking about maybe giving that a try.
I've been on barbed undertow and talking to you about that card.
But you're not playing Azalea. You're on Riptide, who gives fucking all the aim counters to all the arrows whenever he wants. Like, dude, putting an aim counter on an arrow in Azalea is like tough, dude. It's like the cost curve almost. I mean, you have to have a blue, and then if you ever have a Deadeye in that hand, then you're even more fucked.
Tech is tech. And I'm also telling you, utilize the card, point the tip. I honestly think that is a card that you should look at for Azalea. I think that one might see some play for you, especially if you want to move into like barbed undertow and trying to get some of the.
Is that the one that just forces a aim counter on the like? It just puts it on.
It's a free buff. Gives +3, and it gives a face-up arrow in your arsenal. The aim counter
costs 1.
Nope, free.
Oh, it's a 0 cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that with the new the new specialization. Actually,
Yeah,
is a way to do it.
I just tried it out in tonight with Wesley. I was running plunder runs in my Riptide deck and came to the conclusion that I wasn't getting my mileage out of it. It's nice getting the draw card, but I'd much rather be able to get the consistent effects of my arrows. And using that card, I was actually able to get an aim counter on Barbed Undertow and shoot it off for 2 resource.
Nice. No,
It was a double buff and a barb. It felt clean.
Yeah. No, for sure. Definitely a card I want to probably consider. But yeah, just like looking at his deck was a lot different. Like I know he went down like Memorial Grounds. He's on the 1 yellow.
Oh really? Only one?
Yeah. Would love to get like a deck tech on that list just to kind of pick his brain about some of those choices and stuff. I know I even saw like the 3 red sleep darts. I cut that card entirely, so there's probably like a specific matchup that he's thinking about bringing that in against. Maybe it's even Bravo, like just another relevant thing because their dominate does hurt off. Like a lot of times they'll dominate their Spinal Crush, and that's like the one when you have the Seismic and then you pitch the 2 blues, it's like the cleanest kind of like combo they have against you where they get to dominate the Spinal for 2 blues. And you can't really block it with Azalea unless you bring it in like a sink and then have it in Arsenal, which you never do.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats to Brody. It sounds like that tournament was an all-out success. They even had like a team sealed going on there.
Yeah.
Another few things in that tournament I want to things that are of note. Yuki top 8'd with Bolton.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild.
Nice.
Pretty wild. Where's Bailey when you need him?
Cheering up. Hey, any hero that Yuki's playing, Bailey's on.
That does seem to be the case, dude.
You started playing Lexi because of Yuki.
I think we got something there. I think we got something there.
You liked Iyslander? So did Yuki. He's a Bolton guy.
Peter Butensick. Butensick? Is that he top 8'd with Kano.
Mm-hmm. I saw that too.
Pretty cool.
I saw that too. I wanna pick his brain about that list. Just because it's like I was just talking earlier. I wanna play a deck kinda like that, see where it goes.
No, pretty cool, man, to see like a kind of just like a grassroots tournament, and it seemed like there's a ton of pros that are well known, and Michael Fang was there, Michael Hamilton was there, Brody, Mara Ferris even top 8'd on Dromai. So yeah, sad to like miss those things. I wish I could travel more and give the old competitive fab more of a serious go, but life prevents that from happening, as you know.
No, I agree.
with the fam and the kiddo at home.
I know exactly.
Wouldn't change it for anything, but
I still like
when I see these tournaments, I get a little envious.
Like a realm
I
event.
really wish I could be at these.
If we got the crew to just be able to go to a realm event, I know Cliff's on board any day of the week. Bailey most of the time, yeah. Now it comes down to the dads whether we can actually get the time off and do it. It's tough.
No, it is, dude. When I went to Vegas, it was like I pretty much had to bring my wife, or it was
a no-go.
Yeah, pretty much. I had to. Well, I did that myself though. She never really said that. I just felt so fucking bad to go without her.
Mm-hmm. No, I know what you mean. Get yelled at otherwise.
Happy wife, happy life, dude.
Boom. Best saying ever. Well, off of the back of the Battle Hardened, there is a little bit of news about LL and Blitz. So we missed a few the other week. We were talking about Kasai and her sabers. Well, she did LL
yeah,
the
that
other
weekend.
Week. Forgot to mention that. So that's on me. But we also had Kano also going. Chain as well, as we said before. And we also just had Ira go LL. So that is now 4 heroes that have been pushed out. I think I said on the pod 3 episodes ago, is this whole thing going to push all these heroes out during the skirmish season? Yes, it did.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say you were right. I think things are just changing at a speed that we're not used to, so it seems like it's happening all the time.
I'm excited for this new meta.
Me too.
Blitz.
It feels like we're kind of like going into like a new era of Fab almost or something. Like we're already like what 5-6 years in now. And just you look at kind of the LL lists and they're starting to really rack up with heroes that we all are, heroes that we love and are beloved. And in 5 years, it's like we're going to look back. And actually, this is a good question. I thought about this question this week. Let's just, I don't know, pick an arbitrary number. Let's just say 5 years. In 5 years, are more people playing LL or are more people playing CC?
It depends if they can keep it fresh. If they can
Yeah, I
keep it
suppose
fresh with new excitement and build it,
It's very
then I
much.
think that this game will continue to grow. And the LL will be just like the nice little cherry on top for this TCG,
Yeah.
They've got a good thing going. If they can just keep it cranking out and keep up the hype for, oh, dude, this class just got, this card or just released. However, if they kind of stagnate where they just keep recycling some of the older mechanisms of heroes, I think what will happen is we'll see more people playing LL and the game will slowly kind of wean out.
Yeah, I think that question is a little bit contextual, but like, I just imagine a world where, well, like just even imagine the heroes that are in LL or that are in CC right now. You add them all up. In 5 years, they're probably all gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they can keep up with the hero design.
Hey, you can't say that because all the heroes that have been here for
you're
5 years are still
Riptide
here.
will still be here. Arachne will still be here.
See, we were playing the game before there was even an LL hero in the game.
Those are just taking shots at Cliff, but
I know. But
no, that's okay. If everyone drops Arachne and it's just me and a couple others on it, that's fine.
We've seen the game.
I'll take it.
We've seen the game shift in various ways, as in the LL format coming. Is that just as full power and more people going to play it, as you were saying earlier, or are we going to have more people playing CC? Are they going to constantly push CC as the main format?
Yeah.
Or
there's a lot of questions that need to be answered for us to kind of answer that question like appropriately. I feel like, also like, do they ever put bans in LL? Like, you could argue.
They can't.
Well, yeah, I am kind of in the camp that like you don't mess with that format. You let it be the most powerful thing you can be doing. But if you start to play it at a tier 4 event or something, like cards like Awakening can just, I was about to bring that up. It can make people not play the format.
Yeah.
Like one card by itself. Do you know what I mean?
And that card does do that. It's backbreaking.
Yeah.
I mean, when
it makes it feel like you can't play decks that will just get ahead in life, which is like the point of the game.
You just take a whole hit that turn, just pop that off, and just go out of your arsenal, and you go off after that with Starvo's ability. Yeah. It's gross. So it's like, that's the question is, can you truly ban a card also? Which, I mean,
if the answer is no, and then they just keep up with like good hero design, I mean, I could see it just being like Cliff said, just kind of the thing you do for fun or to just go crazy a little bit.
Yeah.
Change it up. And I hope it feels like Legacy. Maybe not entirely, but like in Magic, I have a Legacy deck that has all these old cards in it and shit. And it feels fun to kind of go play. Because, I mean, you're still playing at a power level that's like, more than Modern, I would say. But, yeah, you're playing Magic or you're kind of getting a view in the world of Magic at a different time almost, or from a different time, I should say. And in 5 years, if you're playing Starvo or Old G Prism or, Fi with Stubbies or whatever it is, it could be just super nostalgic and it could be the format people gravitate towards if they do it right.
True.
I don't want it to be, though.
I
don't want it to overtake CC, and I think they have to really like do a good job at balancing it and not making it.
See, and that's where I think they have it right now. I don't think you can do a calling at Living Legend format. I think you have to stick to Battle Hardens. I don't think they can be that high of a tier event. Yeah. The variance in it is just too much.
Well, I would say the variance is almost like less because everyone's just on Starfall. You know what I mean? Like, not, like the variance in Heroes is not a lot, but like like the actual variance that you're gonna not play a fucking Awakening.
It's whether or not your deck's going to go off before the other player's deck is going to go off. That's all it really is in the Starvo mirror. It is a skillful match. You are just sitting there blocking half the time and waiting for your opportunity, like any Guardian matchup is. But
I still think Prism's the best hero in that format. It beats Starvo. I think Prism with, you can even just play Warmongers in Prism.
Yeah.
You bring those in against Chain, you beat Chain.
Yeah.
So, like, those two decks, well, you probably just lose to all the weird decks like Fies running around, as a Prism.
True.
If a person shows up with stubby Fies, you just lose automatically.
I've also heard Machine Gun Kitty Katsu is pretty nutty with stubbies.
Yeah. Sounds insane.
Like I've heard, I've heard several. Like I was talking to Dylan about that too, and he was like, "Yeah, I was getting Crouching Tigers up to like +4, +5 a Crouching Tiger."
That's wild.
Which is nuts.
That's fucking insane. Got 20 fucking 4-bangers. Oh,
It'd be disgusting. But I mean,
and then
hey,
you get the salt the wound at the end of it.
why don't we get into our main segment though? Let's we're gonna break down each hero. We're gonna go through the list here and just say what tier we think that hero is.
Yeah, this is our super duper uber ultimate competitive tier list guide for all you players out there that want
interesting to see if
top
their
8 your
answers
pro
would
quest.
stay the same.
No. This is just honestly the opinions of a bunch of goofy goobers.
And it's almost hard for us to rate them because like we want to
so
push.
biased,
I know we want to push some heroes like better than others, but like at the same time, if anybody does a tier list, they're gonna be biased.
No, I'm usually one to like I don't want to say like rip on people for making tier lists, but it's just like no one's looking at tier lists going, gosh, this is like gospel. We have to, it's like every tier list you see is different. And
Yep.
But this is, I think, a good segment for us to do. Reins in the goofiness a little. It also is just a good time to kind of evaluate the format, I feel like.
Yes. With Iyslander leaving and going into Living Legend.
We're iceless. It's starting to warm up in the format.
Yes.
Guys.
It's, hey, the heat is rising with Dromai and Fi.
Oh, God. That's a good one.
But why don't we start off with Fi then? What did you guys put Fi at your tier list?
He's got to be towards the top. I don't want to say that just
off the back of Worlds, yep.
But so like is S? So are we doing S, A, B, C,
S through D,
S through D? I'm gonna say
personally still
A.
think Fi's low A.
Yeah, he's A. He's got a nice solid A. He's got a nice solid ass.
See, I want to put him at. He's a low A probably. I almost want to put him at high B.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Would you care to explain?
Well, I just think if you're playing Ninja, yes, Fi is good. Fi can put out the damage. He is consistent with his turns. I mean, his hero ability is kind of vanilla. It's nice having that one Phoenix Flame when you're playing like your Illusionist matchups and you need to hit a Spectra or something like that. A dragon with your Phoenix Flames and stuff, but Katsu's abilities and his on hits are just so much better.
Yeah. I would say it's probably a little more challenging to play Katsu, to know just someone like the triggering and stuff. Like Fi is just so like, Unga Bunga, here's my hand.
Yeah.
Just dump your whole hand and don't block. And so if you're picking up a Ninja or you're picking up an aggro deck, it's a very good deck to start with. Mm-hmm. It's also like just solid into a lot of matchups, You'll win just off the back of your good draws sometimes,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Katsu has probably a higher ceiling, if you'd ask me.
So that's why I kind of want to put Fi at a B+.
Can't they both be at like A's though? I mean,
yeah, I guess one's at a higher A than the other, but I mean, I almost want to put. It's just tough. I almost want to put Katsu at like an S almost.
Really?
For like the aggro like S.
I could see that.
Well then, how about we just go right into Katsu after Fi?
All right, let's go into Katsu.
What do you got, Cliff?
So, I personally, have struggled more into Fi than Katsu. I think I said that earlier this episode, but I'm going to say it again. But I think fundamentally, Katsu is a better deck. There's just more opportunity there to get stuff off than Fi can present. Presenting 18 a turn is certainly something to consider.
If you had to play one, which
know.
one would you play? Or like against one? I'm saying like which one scares you more or less?
If I'm playing against one, I honestly, the only Katsu I've really struggled against was that convoluted freaking deck that Dylan threw together, that Flick Flack Turtle Katsu. Fuck that thing.
Dude, that's
Other
like
than that,
any...
I haven't had too many Katsus that have really kicked my teeth in.
Yeah,
Dylan
I think I would
did get
rather...
me really good one time with Katsu.
Yeah.
I'd rather go into him than Fi.
See, I'm on the opposite of that. I would rather play a Fi every day. Or any day, I mean.
Just because, you know, their game plan is to, like, not block. Like, they're just going to sit there and try to not block as much as possible as they can.
Yeah.
Where I think, like, Katsu can utilize blocking a little bit more because they actually use their Flick Flacks.
The Kodachis also are so fucking annoying,
Yeah,
dude.
the Kodachi
Those
lock.
swords really are, like...
Daggers, bro.
What? They're swords.
They're daggers.
There's no way those are daggers.
You can't flick swords. With
Watch
flick
me,
knives.
dude. I'll chuck a sword at somebody,
I know,
dude.
but they are a dagger technically.
Okay. Okay. We'll look it up. We'll look into it, Josh. Okay, we'll look into it. We'll do some research. Okay.
I'll go into it. Continue.
I'll get back to you next week. But no, I think I would put Katsu at like I think he's an A. I don't know if I'd go S with him. They're both good choices. I think it's kind of hard to... Okay, Josh is showing me a picture of the word dagger on Kodachi. I stand corrected. They're daggers.
They're daggies. Little daggies.
They don't look like daggers.
I know they don't. They're katanas.
Yeah. What the hell?
But continue. I'm sorry.
No, we're good. Where would you put Katsu again? High A?
So I'd put him at high A.
You
Oh,
said
almost
S.
S, to be honest. I want to put him at S for my aggro. I'm going to have 2 S's.
I mean, I wouldn't argue that.
Take one. I said 1.
I think he's a great
kinda
option.
Take that
I mean,
back.
Top 8 Bangkok had 3 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Asian countries also like really love Katsu.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do see a lot
Asia
of
and Europe.
Yeah, they really gravitate towards Katsu. So that could be some of it, but yeah, I agree with you guys about him being a better ninja than Fi.
I just think
I do think they're both like around the same tier.
I think he's more versatile.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would agree with that. He blocks better.
Yeah, he
can block better. He plays like the Flick Flacks is like that
nuts.
card is like what the fuck?
The bee's knees.
What
is
the
what
fuck
it
is that card?
Yeah, and I mean, even if you're going with the whole blocking aspect, you can now run your wax on, wax off.
Like you get to play those cards and like have them be kind of maybe the only D-react in your deck because it just adds defense to your normal attack actions. Like
If you're
it's cards
blocking
with combos, right?
2 cards, you're getting 2 extra block because it gives it +1.
It's any card with combo.
Yeah.
No, it's 2. It's +2 defense, dude. Isn't it?
+2.
I'm pretty sure, dude. Flick Flack, that card is like ridiculous. It's like the next combo or the next card you block with combo gets +2 defense. I'm pretty sure is how they read. So you get to like block 4.
Next card.
Josh will look it up right now. Pull that shit up, Josh.
I think it's just combo cards.
Yeah, the next card. Yeah, it is +2.
The next card with combo, right?
Card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just has to have combo. Yeah, dude, that Flick Flack is like...
That's 6 block off of 0.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's fucking wild.
I mean, they obviously would run their sync blows too, just to...
Yep, I agree. They probably do. But I'm saying like it...
Back
it
when
just
they ran blue sync blows because it was a 0 cost pitch for their Kodachis back in the day, dude.
Ugh. Would never put that card in my deck. Oh my god.
Why not? All right, well, let's get into our next hero here. We got Dash Inventor Extraordinaire.
Do you want to just do both dashes in the same one?
Yeah. Okay, what do you guys put?
I do think Old Dash is better than New Dash. I think we've been kind of proven right in our guesstimation of that with the just recent performances by OG Dash.
I agree. I mean, there's been a few where Dash IO has placed very high.
No, I know.
So it is a toss-up, but I do agree with you.
I just think,
OG
yeah, when
Dash
you're
is
seeing
better.
like Dash being successful, it's generally on the back of the OG one. I actually think these are both like, I'd put IO probably at a B, and I would put OG Dash at probably an A. Somewhere around there. What about you, Cliff?
So my take is going to be very different from you guys. If I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put Dash, old Dash at B.
Fucking madman, dude. And you're supposed to be,
And
and you call yourself a Dash player?
I'm putting the new Dash at S.
What in
Holy
the
cow.
There's something there. We've said that with Teklo, and yeah, we've been proven wrong, but the way she works with the items and everything, the getting of the action points, it opens up the possibilities so much. It's a little bit incredible.
I mean, you're not wrong. I do think both Dashes are a great aggro, great pick, honestly, in this meta. They can gain action points, and the fact that new or old Dash now can utilize that Spark of Genius with Go Again,
Yeah.
gaining the action
spark
point
with
back.
with the crank bullshit.
It just opens up her turn
so
so
good.
much more. It's
So good.
unreal. So I agree with you, Ty. I think OG Dash is better than new Dash IO. And I'm going to put her pretty much in the same spot. OG Dash at A, Dash IO at B.
So I actually was just kind of thinking, like, what makes OG Dash better? Is it the actual starting with the item? Because, like, you'd think the ability of the new Dash is enough to overtake OG Dash, but you just see so many players still playing the OG Dash.
Yeah.
And
The
I kind of
guess
want
that
to...
I have.
Is it just the life
there's
total?
three.
It's the life discrepancy?
There's three things.
I mean, is that 4 points of life? Like, or is it 4, right? She starts at 36, the new one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, like, that's kind of like a whole card. And then you're
Yeah.
also starting with the item, so that's like another whole card. So you kind of are like already ahead 2 cards or something, maybe? Or is that
True.
like how people are kind of evaluating it, I wonder?
So that's the two of the three that I'd say. The third is the gun. I want to believe that the majority of the successful dash lists are running Hanabi.
What?
And Symbiosis is a great weapon, don't get me wrong, but to use it fully, you have to be getting your items out. And they have to be like coming in a way that you're able to still have your chain of a couple of cards. You get your action points with your items, and then you shoot the Symbiosis shot.
I'll be
It's
honest with
good.
you, Cliff. The only time I've seen a Dash play Hanabi Blaster was against you. The only time. It's the only time.
It could just be the consistency of the pistol, too. Just
Well, the
got an extra
symbiosis
resource at the turn, pistol.
the symbiosis shot, if you can gain the action points fast enough to the point where you're getting multiple action points, as in like 6, you can shoot your gun 6 times because you get 12 steam counters on it. So that's 12 damage off 1 turn.
Right, but
Yeah.
how are you getting those? How
I
are
was
you
just
getting
going to
those
say,
action
wait,
points?
6?
I've seen somebody get 4 against me in a draft.
Jeez.
In a draft.
Getting action points, I think you should probably be able to get 2, 3 a turn. But in order to get the counters for the gun, you need to bring an item into the arena.
Yeah, you just do that over time. And then once you get it, you just go off. Kind of like your Hanabi blaster.
The pause is
Right, but
perfect.
for the current dash list, that's almost every other turn.
Doesn't New Dash just kind of struggle with the same issue kind of as Azalea, just with like trying to figure out the right number of items,
Yes,
kind of like
it's
pumps, and then you just like run into the inconsistencies of that and trying to figure out the math behind it. And
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue actually mirrors itself pretty well. For Azalea, she struggles with the buff and the arrow hands, right?
yeah,
For Dash, she likes it when she gets her, all attack action hands.
yeah,
until they're all red, and she doesn't have a technical route.
Right.
And then on the flip side of that, she hates it when she gets 3 items and an attack action. What the fuck do you do with that?
Yeah, right. Can't even block your way out of it or whatever.
No, so you can definitely get caught with new Dash. At least with Dash IO, you can pitch that item to flash in a card from the top of your deck.
Mm-hmm.
I think you just get better value out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that about covers it. You want to move on to the next hero?
All right, coming in third, we got another hero with, starting with D. Her name is Dromai Ash Artist.
Dromai is probably my first S hero. It's always kind of like good enough to win any tournament with the right pilot and the right list.
And a wish and a prayer.
No, I mean, no, like, no, I don't know. I think Dromai, you can really express like pilot skill through that deck. And,
Yep.
yeah, I just think it's one of those decks that has like a very solid baseline, and then you can kind of push that with like how you play the deck. I personally haven't played like any Dromai firsthand, but I've played against a lot of it, and it's not one of my favorite matchups. I will say that. It was at one point miserable for Iyslander. Got a little easier the more red line they got. But yeah, I think right now in this meta, I know there's like ninjas that you probably, people say you're pretty unfavored, right?
Mm-hmm.
As Dromai. But I think everything else, you're like, as a Dromai player, they would say they're favored.
Yeah.
So when you have only a couple bad matchups like that, I consider that being like a good pick.
I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. I think she's got a few bad matchups.
Okay.
And I put her at like a high B, like a B plus.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
She's got a lot of bad matchups.
I'd agree.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong on this
aggro, anything hyper aggro, like Dromai.
Which is like half the field right now. And then you got your Bravo. Then you got your true Rhinar fans that are honestly beating up on the Dromais.
Well, didn't gosh, what was it? I think it was the Battle Hardened the weekend before last that a Dromai beat a Rhinar.
Mm-hmm. In the top 8.
Yeah, and Datadol's won 2 skirmish, so
that too. Cliff brought that up to me the other day.
I stand corrected. No, I think that Dromai just has like a good plan they can have plans into anything. They're very adaptable, you know?
Yeah.
Like against the Fies, they're just probably taking out some dragons, or just going less dragon plan and more like Phantasmal, or what is that card?
Ember Maw.
No, well, yeah, Ember Maws and the 1-for-7. Yeah.
Spears.
No. What, I can't even think of the card name. Jesus, Miraging Metamorph.
I was just about to say that, but I was like, is that one of the auras?
No. It's not an aura. It's an attack. You can like.
Think you can get Frightmare?
Frightmare is for the blue illusionist. If you notice on like some of the aesthetic for some of the illusionist cards, there's like a blue aesthetic. Prism had the yellow aesthetic. Dromai has the red. The girl on, I think it is. What's the aura? Is it Spears of Serenity? No, that's
not an aura.
No, that's the attack action.
Good God, boys!
Says the
what if they
illusionist player.
give us an ice illusionist?
Glimmering.
We've got the light illusionist for yellow, the
Glimmer.
draconic for red.
Shimmers.
Thank you. That is the blue illusionist. Whoever's on that card.
The white chick.
Yeah, she's got the white hair.
She is a gorgeous playmat.
You notice all the art and stuff with that character. It's all blue. So when they give us like an illusionist that cares about pitching blue cards, I'm thinking Frightmare will be bee's
utilized.
knees. Oh yeah,
dude. How much do you think that
also gonna be
playmat's going to
ice.
go up when they release that here?
I don't know, $20. Dude, playmats are weird.
Up
It's
the-
like
up
it's
the
like the
wazoo.
weirdest. It's the weirdest market. Like
Dude,
you can find fucking like Lord of Wind mats still for like 120, 150 sometimes. Like the crazy mats, like the Mask Momentums and stuff. I saw one of those the other day for like the guy was asking like 2K for it or some shit.
Yeah.
Like wild. But anything after the original ones, they don't move much, you know.
No. All right. Well, we're going off on a tangent here.
We're a lot more on rails than the last episode that we lost.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
lost to the ether.
Yep.
So Cliff said B plus as well as I did. Ty, you said S for Dromai. All right. Well, moving on to Bravo. I put Bravo at.
I think Bravo's like A or S. Yeah, dude. I think it's if there's like not a better time to play him than right now. Like I don't know what is like he lost his bad matchup against Iyslander. He's decent into the ninjas with his cripplings and his spinals. Good into Azalea. You ask some Bravo players, they're good into Dromai. So like, what's your bad matchup? You know?
Yeah.
I think it's just an overall very solid deck right now. There might not like be any truly bad matchups for Bravo.
Yeah. Well,
Dash is kind of annoying, right? Item
think-
dash and like the pistol dash.
yeah. I think Azalea is a rough matchup for Bravo if you're a good pilot.
You're fucking smoking crack, dude. Did you drink too much Jose Cuervo before I came over?
No, I did not. I'm just saying. Dude, I'm tired of shit.
It could be it. I think they dumpster fucking Azalea. And I will say that just from firsthand accounts. Like, I think on my Talishar record, I went and looked the other day. In the past few weeks, I've won like 1 out of 7 or 8 games against Bravos. Yeah, it's like that bad, dude. It's just like you can never block their shit efficiently. You bring in the perch grapplers for like the one time that Spinal's not dominated or whatever to keep like a decent hand and crack back. And then like all your dominate shit, they just are able to just say, I don't care. I'll block with all my armor and a couple, cards from hand. Or
Yeah.
they get to freely play the red unmovables. They play all the sync belows. Like it's...
Yeah, I suppose. But I mean, how many times can they block with their armor?
No, it's true. It's true.
So, I mean, if you're able to utilize your dominates.
You have good, like,
good
your
times.
drill shots are really strong against Bravos.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I would say it's Azalea's like worst matchup, to be honest with you. That's kind of my take on it. But I still think he's like, yeah, I don't know. I think he's the bee's knees right now. That's twice I've used the term bee's knees this episode.
I said it too. It's a good term. But so did we all come in agreement on A for Bravo? Barvo? Barvo?
I like that Barvo.
That's what Flake says, Barvo.
I almost want to argue for B, but yeah, you can probably stick him in A. Because
Stick him where?
His attacks, stick him in A.
Oh, okay.
I was
Josh's eyes
just
got
thinking
wide.
about it. He's kind of like Azalea, where you're able to kind of swap in which attacks you're going to be running and trying to hit with that dominate, very matchup dependently.
That's true.
Yeah. I think you honestly play all your good red attacks into most shit, though. Like, you might be switching in, like, Zealous and maybe E-Strikes or something to go wider, but, like, Spinals are coming in
stuff
against,
like that.
like, everything.
Alright, well, let's move on to the next one. We got Viscerai.
Ooh. This has got to be low. This has got to be C or D, probably.
D. C. Did you seriously
I
just
said
say
C or D. I said C or D.
D?
Okay. We can just move on, I guess. D. Do you guys want to talk about this for a sec?
I don't really have anything to add into this. I think he's Z right now because the matches I've played against him, he's not too spectacular anymore, and you never see him play. Nobody's on the Vis train right now.
Yeah. No, that's true.
I mean, the
That's definitely
diehards.
a good indicator the meta's not great for him.
No, I also think if you're trying to like sit and dirtle around, there's just other decks to be doing that with, and that's kind of his thing. You can't really like be aggressive with him very much. Like there aren't a lot of like great aggro plans for Viz. The OTK is probably still the most viable way to play him, I would guess. But even that again is just kind of like a little cheeky, a little too. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if it's OTK just because
you don't think so?
I think Revel.
Like if you were gonna play Viz
Revel
right
and
now,
Runeblood is such a good card, and if you're able to get Revel off, and then pop off another attack after that,
yeah, but aren't you? Or no, yeah, I suppose the OTK you're not really playing Revel.
No.
Do you maybe just still play it and like you don't really care about saving up for the OTK? You just kind of do it in chunk turns.
Yeah.
Because like Revel's just too good not to play, maybe.
I think so. I mean, that's one of your power cards.
Yeah.
That'd be like me not using glistening.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm serious.
No. I agree with you. I'm just saying like that would just never happen.
Well, that's actually a good segue into our next two heroes. On the list, we got Dory and Bolton. Let's get the two warriors here out of the way.
I'm gonna put Bolton at B, and that's strictly off of Josh's face right now. That's strictly off of the back of Yuki's performance. Okay, we're gonna put him at B, and we're gonna put Dory at a C.
Okay.
Josh, what did
Come
you
on,
have
let's
that
hear it.
man
Let's hear it.
smoke?
Let's hear it. Oh no, I brought my own.
I'm gonna do the complete flip on that. I'm
Is
gonna
there
put Dory
fentanyl
at
in
B, and I'm gonna put Bolton at C.
Okay. So you
Dory
flipped them.
B,
Mhm.
Bolton C.
Okay. You're probably right. I just like poking the bear sometimes.
This is personal experience. Y'all know me. I like
Make
my
my
Bolton.
eye
He's
twitch, man.
fantastic.
No, I'm kidding. I'm so tired.
I'm putting Bolton at C, and Dory just I don't even know, man. She's kicked my ass the last couple times I've played her. I'm putting her at A.
Boom.
That's a little egregious, but
That's a stretch. I appreciate it.
Well, it wasn't you who kicked my ass a couple
I
times.
know.
so.
I know. Last time we played, you
Freaking
kicked my
glistening
ass.
steel blade. Ugh.
Kicked my ass. All right. Well,
Good
after
fight.
those two, let's go into Reinar. Reckless Rampage.
S.
oh, fucking dude.
Holy
No,
shit,
I'm
Cliff.
kidding.
Cliff is fucking on one.
There's no way Reinar's S tier.
No, I think he's like C. Like he's down there still for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. I would maybe put him at B.
Like what decks are you like actually favored into though?
We just spent a while talking about this. Dromai.
Wow.
Okay, Dromai.
Reinar into. I honestly like Reinar into ninjas.
What? I feel like that's like the reason you don't play him because
They
like
don't-
Fi and
You,
Katsu
you,
both
just, you just race.
No, I know, but
you
you're
just
like they're
race.
faster.
I mean, when you're getting your Blood Rush Bellow turns, your rolls on your scabs, and
See,
then
the
you
key,
get your
the key
barraging
thing you said there is
beatdowns.
rolls on your scabs. The
But
blood
what
rushes,
is the-
yes.
what
Well,
is the
if your name
card
is,
that
Josh,
we now have for brutes
don't
that
roll.
intimidates on the opponent's turn. You guys have to give street cred to Scowling Fleshbait.
That too.
Yeah.
That
That's a sweet
card
card.
looks at ninjas and just says, "Fuck your turn."
No, that's a good card. That's a good card.
Well, I'd put him at B.
That's probably good. That's probably a
I
more
like the B
accurate
pick.
guess than my C.
Azalea.
Azalea's S tier right now. I think even with her bad matchup into Bravo, like she presents like some of the craziest on hits, and she really feels like I don't necessarily feel bad for my opponents. Even beating up on you guys at the beginning of like playing Fab at the shop was just like always a learning experience, and it was all in good fun. But I like actually feel bad sometimes when you like dominate an arrow, you look at their armor and you just know it's going to hit, you know?
Yep.
Like it can feel like
Rough.
like you're cheating sometimes when you're playing Azalea.
Yeah.
Especially with all the recursion right now that she has access to. When the train gets going, dude, it's hard to stop sometimes. It's actually not hard to stop because your deck just goes, we're stopping.
Yeah.
Put on the brakes. You got tempo and you're about to win. Here's a bunch of arrows or a bunch of pumps.
Yeah.
But I still think that deck is like very, very strong right now.
I'm going to agree with you on that. That is my second S hero,
Yeah.
Azalea.
Yeah.
For all the same reasons.
I can't in good conscience put Azalea at S. I'm giving her A. High A.
No, it's still a good score that I would also agree with. I mean, S tier, I say that maybe being a little biased because it is the deck I've been on for a while now, and it was my original hero starting the game out with.
I'm not being biased.
Yeah. Yeah.
S.
Yeah, it's a good spot for her.
All right. Well, next on the list, we got Yuzuri at the same amount of LL points as Azalea. 208.
Love that. Dude, love that. I'll be playing her for a long time.
So what do you put Yuzuri at?
With the loss of Lexi, I think she just got like worse a little bit. I don't think she has a good Bravo matchup. Maybe she has a good Azalea matchup. It's a lot different than Lexi, though. The frailties don't really, like, Azalea kind of doesn't care about the frailties. And, like, I don't think you have too much armor block as an assassin to get over the dominate stuff.
I mean, she's good into ninja. She's good into...
Azuri is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I've gotten dumped by Yuzuri several times.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that like you're never blocking her as a ninja.
Well, it's because like with ninja, if you have an Art of War and you don't have an arsenal, are you really going to use that Art of War on that turn with a 3-card hand? Or, like a 4-card hand?
Yeah.
You're setting up. So you're putting that into your arsenal right away to be able to use that on your next turn to be utilized. And boom. What do you know? They CNC Codex of Frailty.
Yeah.
Just boom. Arsenal toast.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see it, I guess. I just feel like they're fucking... Like, Zuri's just this weird...
And you don't want to block it.
Methodical.
Ninja.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, you just don't block anyways, and Zuri loves the decks that don't block it, so you can kind of have your day with all your on-hit weird shit and your shenanigans.
There was one time Carter was at like 20, I want to say like 27 life, and I was down to like 4 life, and I got him all the way down to like 12 or 11, I want to say, with the ninja, and I was just sitting there blocking, attack, block, attack, block, attack.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is the game plan that I have to have every time. Like, it sucks, and it's horrible, but I have to just block and throw like 1 attack, 2 attacks, maybe a turn.
You were on 5 that day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So...
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'll take your word for it. I would have thought that maybe like the aggro decks kind of are too much for Zuri to handle, but
yeah.
But maybe it's the weird shenanigans that she gets to do is enough.
I don't know. It's she's in a weird spot. I would have to put her kind of at a high C, low B.
I was gonna say like she's probably lower. Yeah, like a C. I'd say C probably right now.
Which is weird because she did win a calling. She did win a calling before Worlds, so it's like hard to say.
That was with Lexi in the format. I just don't think there's like anything that's like giving you incentive to play her, Whereas before it's like, oh, Lexi's everywhere.
If you like doing janky shit and watching people think the hardest that they've ever like thought in their life, you play assassin.
Yeah, that's assassin.
Well, bouncing off of that Yuzuri talk, why don't we go right into Arachne?
Hang on, I need to rank Azuri. So.
Oh shit.
I'd put her at C.
Okay.
I'd say solid C.
Yeah.
Which scares me what you're going to rank Arachne.
I go probably D with Arachne.
Cliff?
Even with that new card.
Free new specialization Arachne. I'd probably give D.
You would give D?
You'd give him D, Cliff?
I'd give him D pre-new specialization. I think this new specialization is an absolute game changer.
Yeah. No,
I
agree.
want to put him at like a low B.
Damn. That's a high grade, dude.
I'd say maybe C plus.
Because the thing
upgrade.
is, Arachne's kit is, like you've said the toolbox analogy, and I mentioned it a while back, but the way I have my CC Arachne is I've tried to like lay out what chains I can sideboard and like manipulate so that whoever I'm facing, I'm going to be hitting my contracts. So it's really fun and intriguing that you're able to build this deck to still be centered around its goal of that silver creation.
Yeah.
Which not only allows you to buy back your reoccurring battle-worn equipment, but it gets you to get that effect that they have on them. So I run the full kit for the battle-worn stuff you can buy back. And most CC games, I'm probably blocking 13 to 18 damage with my equipment throughout it.
18 is a little
That's
much.
a lot of
little
silver
much
creation clip. That's 36 silver technically.
To be fair, these games are into some heavy aggro decks, so the list is very centered around just like slay the scholars.
I've always
like it's go again.
I've always been a huge fan of like working around Eradicate. Like I'll set up big turns with Eradicate. If I can get a go again turn with like a leave no witness, then you Eradicate. And if you can buff up the Eradicate to be like 13 damage and you just like react pump it and hopefully they don't block enough, then you're banishing 7 cards. Because it's for each card that you, or each damage that you hit, you banish a card.
I was playing into Wesley's Bravo, and I did a dagger, a leave no witness, into an Eradicate. And I played the leave no witness because I had even bigger than that. So I gave it go again.
Nice.
I'm sitting there. I've got 2 resource floating, an Eradicate down after that leave no witness, and 3 cards in hand. I have a red shred and 2 buffs. He plays his unmovable. I shred it and double buff it.
Jeez.
Eradicate coming in for, I think it was 10 because it would be +6. So yeah.
See, that's what I mean. Like
Eradicate seems wild in Blitz.
Dude, if you can Eradicate,
fuck your deck.
if you can just completely buff an Eradicate turn, it's nuts.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure, how much is Eradicate? 1 or 2?
I think it's a 1 cost.
That's right, because Leave No
1
Witness
cost.
is 0, Eradicate's 1, Surgical's 2.
Yep.
I was gonna say, if you could Slogism it.
Dude. You're giving me PTSD from my old Slogism Shyana deck.
Yes.
Back when I had to run all these shitty blues.
Slogism with the Arknight Ascendancy.
Although, to be fair, that shit was dope.
Yeah,
when I
dude.
could, like, turn 1 Slogism Arknight Ascendancy, it was like, and pummel it, too.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
Dude,
here.
it's disgusting.
Needed
That's
all
like
the mana for it, or all the
14
resources.
14 damage, but then you're getting how many
No, I know.
resources? Or, I mean, rune chance on the next turn?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
That deck was a lot of fun, but I will say I'm very happy with the Riptide upgrades of all those, specialization traps.
Yeah.
But let's move on. Arachne got a D. Yeah.
Arachne D,
got
yeah.
Cliff's D to be specific.
All right, well, we forgot Levia when we did
Ooh.
Rhino.
Just solid C.
Yeah. Probably.
Not much more said around
Maybe
that.
a B.
I mean, with the new results at the, at the Battle Hardened.
Do you think Levia is better than Rhinar right now?
Honestly, no. It's hard to say, man. I mean, if they are
The
able to...
Sorry, Josh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if they get the Demi Hero off, then, I mean, yeah. Because the Demi Hero is good and helps kind of like save them on turns.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to be able to hit the Demi Hero on the exact life total or like at the exact blood debt total.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a stretch. I feel like it's a lot to manage and to do in a game while you're trying to kill your opponent.
Yeah. No, yeah, I would agree with that. I think Levia is probably better than Rhino, though.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I don't know. I I feel like I'm way more scared of a Levia than a Rhinar. When I like sit down across from a Rhinar, I'm never like, oh fuck, here we go. Like it's kind of just like, especially with Azalea, like I don't want to block anyways. So when you intimidate my hand, I just don't care, you know. But yeah.
All right, so we got Cliff and I got Levia at a C, and you got her at a B.
Yeah,
Or a C.
maybe C plus, yeah, B minus, something like that. I don't know.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we also forgot Vincent when we did Viscerai. So what do you guys put Vincent at?
Another solid C.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
C.
low.
Yep.
Something like that.
Not much more. All right. We forgot. Who else do we got? Kano.
Ooh,
C.
yeah. Again, probably low.
I want to put him at D so bad, but then Kano does the Kano thing.
I know. That's
And then he just
the
mops
thing.
you.
That's the thing. And
Yeah,
especially
it
It's gotta
seems
be
like
C.
if you fucking play against a Kano, you just lose, like because you're never prepared for it. You don't see it coming, and in any tournament you see like a Kano in CC, it's always like
honestly, my win rate into a Kano with Dory is actually immaculate. Somehow, some way.
Well, so, okay, it makes sense because Kanos do good Kanos do a lot of blocking at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're trying to like leak Arcane, when you run enough blues already, and they're trying to block, which is what you like want decks to be doing, like you kind of own them on both fronts. It seems like. So I would actually
favor.
Dory. I would see what you mean.
And it's like yeah, I have my turns where I hit a red hand in Dory like during that, and it sucks. Like when they smell tidings, it's like.
Yeah.
Like, I have to let it hit. Then they get a ponder, and then they just get to fill their arsenal. It's like, fuck. But at the end of the day, when I'm pumping up so much and getting those counters, they're watching the counters just tick up. And it's like, I literally just go sword, counter at the end of the turn, sword, counter at the end of the turn, sword, counter at the end of the turn. Because they never block right because they're trying to pitch stack so hard. So it's like you get them so low so fast.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm sitting at like 32 life at the differential.
Dude, most of the time 32 life is within range.
I know, but most of the time I have 2 blues in hand.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm blocking a lot of, and I got my 3 AB.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a toss up sometimes. I've had games where I've lost to 35 life when Joe's playing Kano.
Yeah, dude.
So but, okay, well, we put Kano at C. Who do we got next? We got Riptide.
Cliff, let's hear your grade first.
I want him to be good so bad because his deck just feels very fluid and flushed, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It just, the mechanics in that deck, I just love the way it feels. The highest I think you can probably take him is C.
Yeah, I was going to put him right around C, I think.
Agreed.
I think you could argue for B, because honestly, Riptide loves aggro matchups.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of fun. You just shoot breakpoint arrows like immobilizing shot at them for 7.
Mm-hmm.
So then they block out, and then their attacks all have go again. So then you block out their attacks and ping them again.
Yeah.
That's also why I like running Infecting Shot, too, because then I'm getting 3 different instances of damage throughout the turn cycle. I'm getting the one on my turn, I'm getting the Blood Rots, and I'm getting the Trap damage, which is also enabling me to load my arsenal. I don't know. It feels good.
Have you ever heard of the, like, all-trap blitz deck?
Yeah,
you
I
run
thought
like
about it.
You run
It'd
like two Nourishing Emptiness. And, like, you can codex them back and shit, even. And, like, the first one is always online.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah, you just play Fatigue. You just play to the end game, ping them, slowly, like, hit them with Nourishings. It's,
that sounds amazing.
Yeah. I lost round 1 to a guy on a 20...
No way!
38 trap deck, yeah. Skirmish.
Oh my god,
Last season.
That's awesome.
By the time I figured yes, bro, and it was like he crushed my day with like round 1. I was on Shiana. I sit down again, like across from a Riptide. I'm like, oh hell yeah, I got this. Easy peasy, I get to play his traps against him, and everything's fine and dandy. And then I took my opponent for granted, and he fucking
walloped you.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. Before I could like figure out what exactly his deck was doing, I had already codexed back all of his nourishings before him. Shit, like I'm playing my codexes when like I shouldn't have been, because I just am like letting him recur his nourishing every time.
Then he's just blocking and throwing one.
Yeah, he just blocked everything that I threw at him and fatigued me out. But yeah, I think we're in agreement.
Riptide C. All right, next on the list we got Max Thy Hype Nitro.
I think Max has got some legs, man. He might actually be the next deck I want to make.
I put him at B.
I would say B. Yeah, I would say B with Josh.
I think the package he has with the constructs is really disgusting. And I keep saying it. I really just need to sit down and fucking do it. Is build that moonshot Max deck. I honestly think it's a blitz deck, because you could just overpower one of those moonshots up to like 20 overpower.
Yeah.
That seems disgusting. Word on the street, though, is some of the pros have like Max as one of their top priorities right now.
Yeah. He's good. I mean,
that just for a blue, get a hyperdriver, Banksy for 3.
Mm-hmm.
That feels good.
Yeah, the efficiency that he has and the resource generation still is unreal. And it's just his game plan is so easy and so straightforward. Honestly, I would almost start directing new players into Max for like a hero.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's kind of like a ninja,
Yeah.
Pretty easy, streamlined to play.
Yep.
But he's a lot cooler than a ninja because he has a wrench.
Oh,
That's true.
Way cooler.
Plus, then you get a hero pool of 4 heroes.
Yeah, shout out Wes. Suck it, Wes. Mechs are better.
All right, well, next on the list we got Prism.
Oof. Prism's probably at like the C or D.
D.
Yeah. Sadly. Played that deck for a few weeks. And
not sadly. She never needs to see the top of the leaderboards again.
Come see me in LL, Cliff.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to see you or Josh. Go away. Just let me do my Moons with Briar things. I don't want the fucking Towering Titans coming after me, or I don't want any of it. I don't want the smoke.
Tanner has a Alpha Moon's Wish for you. By the way.
He's got what for me?
An Alpha Moon's Wish. Or maybe it's Sun's Kiss. It's one of them, but it's an Alpha. And he's like, do you think Cliff would like this? And I'm like, yeah.
Ooh, Tanner, boy.
He's a weirdo for shit like that.
Hey. That deck is awesome.
No, I just mean like a random Alpha card,
All right, well, boys, let's get on to the last hero here.
What do you got?
Tech. Low. Awesome.
It's a easy D.
S.
Oh, shut up, Cliff. Losing Iyslander, though, might help him. God, it actually might be a good idea to go back and look at him now.
I thought about this after we recorded last time, and we all put him at D. I'm like, we had just gotten over the big door block for Teklo to come in and be like, it's daddy.
Dude, you're right.
Iyslander, because he doesn't have AB.
Oh my God, I should work on Teklo for this weekend. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We're bringing Teklo.
Do it.
We are bringing Teklo back.
Well, now everybody knows.
Out of the closet. I mean, out of the drawer.
Think about it.
He's in my...
The way his mechanism
He's in the bag. He's in the bag.
So hard to fatigue just because of those scrap cards.
Yeah.
No, I think... Yeah, well, I don't think people are trying to fatigue him, though, right?
No, he likes fatiguing others.
Oh. Sorry.
While he's doing that, it's hard for him to, like, accidentally run himself out of cards,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think he's at D right now, but losing Iyslander could bump him up a little bit.
Well, we're doing it after Iyslander, so...
No, I know. I'm still thinking. I mean, I got to see it before I believe it. You know.
So
put him at C.
But I think we could put him safely at C with Iyslander gone. Because at least if I sit down from a tech loan now, I'm gonna be like, oh boy,
Yeah.
like, does he know what he's doing or does he not?
Yeah.
I mean, even if you weren't Iyslander, you're still sitting there going, oh boy. I mean, it was just really Iyslander was hindering him from being
I don't
played.
think so. I think Iyslander looked at Tekla and just went, "Yep, this is a win."
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was saying.
Okay. Because Tekla's got no answer for Iyslander.
No.
Like you could probably skate with Achilles and Vicertronic, but then you're just you're ruining that deck's whole mechanism.
Yeah. Yeah, you just like can't play the Singularity plan against them, I don't think.
No.
But how
You just
viable
gotta
that
hope
is, I'm
your
not sure.
breakpoints hit.
All right, well, that concludes our
Our super secret, ultimate, uber competitive, serious tier list for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that.
I'm going to acronym that and put it as the title.
What did I say? Super secret.
I don't know, but I'm going to listen to it like 4 times, and I'm going to acronym it and put it as...
You can't acronym it. Actually say you have to put the
maybe
words.
Put a couple of barcodes.
No, but like you have to don't acronym it because then no one will know what the fucking acronym is. You have to like actually use the words.
Fine, I'll bold it and capitalize it then for the words.
There you go.
Super secret ultimate
Uber competitive. Serious. What did I say?
I don't know.
Fuck, whatever. Let's move on to these couple spoilers and then we'll get into our questions. I suppose we're kind of hitting that. Are we close to 2 hours already, or is it? What are we at?
Hour
Josh?
30.
Oh, okay.
Hour 30
so
right
we're,
now.
dude. Hell yeah. I know some of
Actually,
our listeners have
hour 30, hour 40.
expressed their enjoyment in the longer form conversations. So it's good to pump out a bunch of shit when there's really not a lot going on in the news.
I haven't heard the baby cry, so that's good. I was worried that she was just going to be crying. Waking up, interrupting.
Yeah. Been there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into these spoilers for the 3rd time.
Do you want to get into your booty cheeks one first, Cliff?
Okay, so we have a Ranger instant. It is a blue pitch, cost X. The text is, look at the top X+1 cards of your deck. Choose up to 4 traps, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. The card also carries the text, reload. However, I don't really see why, as I don't think any other Ranger but Riptide looks at this card and goes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I will say, we talked about this on the Lost episode. The art on the card is portraying some pirates, and one dude looks to be wearing the trench of the sunken treasure.
Mm-hmm. Could be a
So
hero
we could be
get,
seeing
maybe?
a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
I will say also the hat, the way the hat's detailed, I want to see if we get the pirate hat as an equipment.
Yeah. Oh, hell
That'd
yeah.
be dope. But going into like the mechanism of this card, what this is doing is end game Riptide. You can feel pretty comfortable pinging someone down from 3 to 4 health. I think you need a little bit of like planning, and you got to get a little bit of that lucky elbow. Get it, but it's doable.
Well, I think instead of like being lucky with this card, I think you just have to pitch stack it, right? Or pitch the traps, underneath it
which is what we do most of the time, but
yeah,
this is also doing is if you've got, say, an arrow in arsenal and you've got a bunch of attacks and non-attacks in hand, no traps, you can just pitch all of those and then play this to go get some traps. So it's like a safety net in a way too.
Yeah, it seems like you're trying to pitch your traps anyways for late games. So if you like get this early, is it a legendary specialization or can you have 3 of them?
You can have 3.
It's nobody's specialization.
Damn. And it blocks for 3, right?
Yes. Nope. No block. No block.
It's an instant.
Block.
It's an instant.
Oh. Okay. And you have to usually pay a blue into it, right? You pay a blue. Yeah. X is 4 then, or X is 3+1. You get to go 4. Maybe draw 4 cards. So when I say this card's booty cheeks,
It's a
It's
setup.
just because, like, in any, like, if you say draw 4 cards, like, in any hero, it's, like, incredibly strong, but then you just put traps in it, and then it's like, oh, this card's fine, because it says traps. Like, you get to draw some traps, who cares? But,
You see, you say that until you get trapped to death by it, and you go, all right, that card's dumb.
until I get reeled in by Cliff.
I'm
No,
coming for it.
yeah, I think this is a sweet. It's like it's kind of probably an auto include, right? In all of the well, the fact that it doesn't block actually is kind of maybe
That
a
is
reason.
one thing that's
not,
scaring me about the card.
Yeah.
But then again, this card's
If you're like a
function
super
is to
trap
play
based
it
Riptide, you have to
on
play
a
this though.
defense.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, like
fatigue.
that 38 deck list. That probably loves this card.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, okay. Do you guys want to get into the other one, the actually
Yes.
good card?
The actual good card.
Well, actually, so
Yeah, sure,
when I
good
first
card.
when I
Look
first
at
read this
me.
card, I was like, "Oh, damn, this is really strong." But then, like, kind of thinking about it in like the applications of it, it's like I don't think it's as egregious as people are thinking. Well, let me explain. So the card is called Judge, Jury, Executioner. It is a 1-cost legendary Azalea specialization. Attacks for 5, blocks for 3. It reads, if this has an aim counter, it gets, when this hits a hero, they discard all but 1 card from their hand. I want to first start off by saying shout out to Az from Go Again Gaming. This was LSS gave him this card to spoil. He spoiled it this last weekend, so shout out to you, dude. I know he is an Azalea stan like myself, so always fun to see azaleas out in the wild. But this card, it takes some jumping through hoops to do it. The aim counters are not always free. Like, you have to usually have a blue. Most of the time when you have like Deadeye and a 1-cost arrow, the aim counter just, you don't have enough for it. Not to say like you are going to get stuck with Deadeye every time you see this card. It's just, I think with the Crow's Nest being the only way like the Death Dealer Azaleas can kind of give aim counters, other than the, what was it, Cliff Poison the Tip, or what was it? Point the Tip. Yeah, you also don't get to recur this with a Codex. The codexes do not, you just get to put it back in the arsenal, and then it's just a vanilla 5. You can memorial ground it, you can knock it, but after that, yeah, your codexes don't really do anything with this card. And I think that this is worse than Red in the Ledger against aggro decks, but better into like the big swing, tall, guardian, brute type, heroes.
Yeah.
I think Kellen did a good job at explaining it in our Discord. One of our locals is a Azalea player / Ranger player in general, I should say. He also actually plays Guardians too, so he's got a good insight on it. And he said it best, where I think this card is just like a utility card into, well, really Guardians. If you're able to recur it, great. But the cost curve is just a little more expensive than people, I think, first are letting on. But still really fucking strong.
Yes.
I mean, this is kind of their version of crippling.
Yeah.
Her version of crippling. And they balanced it in a perfect way, where we were kind of thinking about how like they would be able to balance a legendary arrow if it was an arrow because of the recursion. But the aim counter basically makes it where one form of the recursion in the deck doesn't actually work in Codex. So, because of the way that they worded it with the aim counter. So, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. I think that's where, when this card was released, was the battle hardened out like that Brody played in?
Mm-hmm.
Was that already played with, like, through?
It
Because
was
he
released,
could be,
I think, this Saturday, this last Saturday. So they were probably in the thick of it.
Okay, so if you think about it, I mean, Is that why he was running 2 barbed undertows as like his play set of 2 barbed undertows with the 1?
It's a good question. The barbed undertows actually, just like thinking about it, really do some work into Bravo. I think that's
just trying to utilize, because that card should be better into the bigger matchups, like you said. So maybe those are the cards that you sub in for those matchups. I mean, I feel like you always kind of want to run it, but
well, it's still great. Like when I said it, I would rather have red in the ledger. The reason I say that is because what does this discard them? Oh, I guess you do discard their hand.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just like better than red in the ledger against an aggro deck.
yeah, kills a whole turn.
What's also cool about this card is like, so it has to come off the top to get the aim counter. So it will always have dominate. But if there's a way to like get aim counters on it and you don't have dominate, you still force them to block it out because they're losing those cards anyways. So like it's fine without dominate if you figure out a way to put the aim counters on. I'm not sure if there's really any like barbed castaway Azalea decks right now. Like that bow seems kind of ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, time will tell. I feel like a lot of people are kind of hype about this card. And I've seen a lot of like negative things about this card too.
A lot of people hate on that card as well.
Yeah.
I'm vanilla.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah. I think it's like an AA plus card, man. I think it's really pushed. But I do also think that there are some very well balanced things about this card that LSS did right. So
it's not too much of a power creep card. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
The aim counter is a very good way to equal it.
I agree.
Cliff?
This card is... what I think it is it's another hit when you kind of are unsure and you're just opting around the top of your deck. If you don't have your Nox or your Codexes, and even if you have your Codex, if you don't have anything you really want to grab, if you see this on top, you're going to go, all right, bet, we're shooting this.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to go fishing and stress about what to shoot. If that's on the top of your deck and you can buff it up once or twice and fire it off, you're going to go, yeah, might as well. That buys you minimum a turn.
Yeah. I am just excited for more spoilers, man. This drip feeding shit really pisses me off.
Yes,
like it's so antsy and so like
it's making me really question what's going to be in the set for the rest of the expansion slots.
Yeah,
because I'm loving what I'm seeing for Riptide and Arachne. Even though, like, yeah, the Riptide card's not great, but it's just exciting that they're looking at kind of what he's doing and they go, okay, how do we maybe like accentuate that without making it ridiculous?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
do like that.
I really think the expansion slot is like going to just do away with the supplementary sets because like if they do,
which is
it's fine. Like
I'm cool
I love supplementary sets, but if they're able to do this where they can give a card pool 1 or 2 cards every few months or however they see fit, like you can really like mold the meta in a second hand way, I suppose, by adding these like one of tomes or like, you know, the Dromai tome
I'm gonna say
or this Arachne specialization, you know, the cards that actually seem really, really powerful.
And I'm going to say it again. I also think it's a way for them to test out some stuff before releasing it, just to see if, one, even if they've play tested it, how like the consumers perceive it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that they struggled with, where they play tested something and they're like, yeah, that's, you know, not too powerful or whatever. And then it got to the consumer base and everyone's like, it's meh. So I'm thinking with those Kasai tokens, those warriors she create, I've said it before on an earlier episode, I think Kasai creating those warrior tokens is a way for them to test the field for maybe doing a necro soon.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. It'll be interesting to see if we get other ally creation for warrior, or if that's like kind of her only shtick.
No, that's going to be interesting. Sorry, I was just thinking in my head while you guys were talking. So I'm kind of speculating about the spoiled cards that we've gotten. So far we've gotten 2 assassin cards, 2 ranger cards, right? And I think this set's supposed to have like 10 or 14 cards. in the expansion slot. How many heroes are left outside of the heroes that are in heavy hitters?
Well, if there's 14 and they're doing twos, then there'd
So
be
is
10
that are
10
they
cards?
giving almost
heroes?
every hero
No, I don't think they should use the expansion slot for like every hero.
because like the Grave and Call buffs both Uzuri and Arachne, and then there's Arachne one.
Well,
and
no,
then there's
like-
a Riptide and Azalea.
Yeah, not that Azalea needs help right now. It's kind of actually a funny thing.
But I mean,
I think they're going to use it though to just push the heroes that are down. This whole set is pushing heroes that are down in warriors and brutes, and maybe not guardians, but like the expansion slot will just give, I think, heroes in their mind that need the help
yeah.
pieces. You know,
Well, you got to think about like I don't think Light Warrior is going to get anything in the expansion slot because it's going to get help from the Warrior slot.
well,
right?
yeah, you
So
might
are
though.
they-
We got the
Could.
Bellana, the head of Bellana. Isn't that light?
Yeah, but
Like-
that was in
That was in the
the
expansion
last
slot.
one. I know, but
No,
he
maybe.
just got help.
But did he? Well, Yuki might want to say something about that.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
I don't know. I was just speculating on it. Do you think they're just going to come out with 2 cards for each class left over, as in Ranger, Assassin, Ninja, Illusionist, Mech, Wizard, Runeblade. That's 7. That's 14.
Interesting.
Honestly,
Could be
the
cool.
only way I want them to do mech cards in the expansion slot right on the heels
don't
of
hear
bright
it.
lights is if it's max and a data specialization.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Otherwise,
I was going to say an adult data doll cliff. No.
no,
in
not
the
an adult,
expansion
but
slot
just
as a
another
hero.
specialization for her. Because the mech's got plenty in bright lights. We don't need more right now. So if they're gonna do cards for mechs, it's gonna have to be tailored to a specific mech.
True.
And right now, the ones that are lacking, not lacking, but like Max only has the Banksy specialized.
Yeah.
Tekla has Singularity. Dash has her old ones.
So what I'm annoyed with is if you look at the heavy hitter spoilers on Fabry, Kasai and then Kasai the Golden Sand, the adult version is Majestic again. What's your guys' thoughts on the Majestic like adult heroes?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, it's
Dude, I've ripped a few packs of Bright Lights and I've only gotten one adult hero.
I pulled a whole case. I think I got 2 other boxes, and I didn't pull one Majestic hero.
no, it's weird because they're like, game pieces. But I also like,
It sucks.
I'm never like against cards having value though as a collector.
That's true, but like
Yeah, they're game
the
pieces.
heroes themselves, if you want to get into the hero, are now $5
Yep.
for the hero.
No, I know.
It's like, ugh,
It's kind of weird
it is.
from what we were.
I mean,
used
I'm
to.
not against any card having value, but
Every
like,
hero was a token before. Gosh, who was the first Majestic hero? Starvo,
Starvo.
maybe? Yeah.
Starvo Iyslander.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys want to get into some questions and get the fuck out of here? Or?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna go over the zombie thing just briefly. We kind of talked about this like for 15 minutes the last time, but I thought I had a pretty good question in the Discord this week about zombie apocalypse that breaks out in Wraith, and you get 5 spots to make your team. Cliff, would you like to tell us what your team would be?
Yeah, I'm going the Charlie's Angel route. Give me 4 data dolls and a Tekla.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Just rust away.
It's a good choice.
Bro, they can throw dissipation shields for like portable force fields. They got the boom grenades for explosives. They've got all the different assorted weaponry, all the different like items that they can use and shit. Like, dude, yes.
No, I like it. Ovaltine said they would take Kasai and Dromai for sure for clearing the mobs and the hordes. It's good choice. Kasai just going ape shit with her dual sabers, while Dromai just spams dragons to burn them all. I like what he did there. I like that. He also said he would want Genis. Seems like a guy who could build a base well with all the traveling merchant experience. Very good point. He also looks like he can cook a bomb-ass meal. All right. Max, to help scrap and improvise technology that can help with the quality of life. And he said he's unsure about the 5th, but maybe Prism just for the safety and, like, spectral shields and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that answer by Ovaltine. O2 Bailey. Oh, God, he changed his name to O2 Drop Bailey. That's why I said that, because I'm just reading. Fucking.
Props to you, Bailey. Well
I thought it was like a listener, and then here it is. It's just Bailey. It's just O2 Drop Bailey. He would bring Olden, Bolton, Azalea, and Dromai. That's 4, but that's okay.
I think he said one more if he had.
Oh, yeah, it's down here. No, you're right. Dylan says... Dylan says Katsu, Ira, Benji, and Phi, and Old Prism. So he's got the ninja team there, of course. Leave it to Dylan to pick all the ninjas in the game.
Cav Dane, I think Bailey said.
Here, I'll just read it. He said, Oldham, because he's a tanky boy. Ain't nothing getting past him. Bolton seems like the paladin type, and having a support/healer/medic dude seems nice in an apocalypse. Yep. Azalea for range. Don't have to worry about the zombies if they can't get close. Dromai, her dragons in a zombie apocalypse seem pretty OP. And if he needs a 5th, Cav Dane, I think that sneaky bastard has some inside knowledge.
Yeah. Yes.
His name is the Trader of Skins, so I get like mad. You ever seen Walking Dead where they like cut the skin off of the zombies and wear the skin? It's like,
yes.
I get mad. Skinwalking vibes from Cav Dane. What do they call him in the show? I forget. They called him something.
I can't remember.
Yeah, me neither. Anyways, who did you have?
So,
Josh,
I originally had Kasai and Reinar as like my scavengers, and I rethought it, and I still want that actually. Never mind. I don't know where I was going with that. It's late, guys. I'm sorry. We're gonna go with Dromai because Dromai can protect a base, like everybody else said. Pretty obvious. Then we're gonna go with Dash because she can build stuff pretty well, items, and she has a gun, so she can, have ranged attacks. And then finally, I said Yorick for the good times, around the campfire at night when we're all chilling, enjoying our time.
seems important.
But this is where I was saying the but. I rethought it. Shyana can turn into Yorick. So, and she can kind of become any hero.
Okay, you guys have already heard me say this, but I have to tell the audience again. I was reminded at this point when you said this in the last episode, or the lost episode, I should say. This reminds me of when my brother and I would play Pokemon when we were kids in the backyard. We would pick a Pokemon and then do battle. And I would pick Ditto every time and just transform into any Pokemon I wanted to. I thought I was like cheat code. Yes. The best. Smart. We're just so intuitive over here, thinking through the through the parameters.
So, honestly, five Shyana, not a terrible pick.
Not a bad pick. You just get to be whoever you want.
You just go, all right, 5 Shyanas. We're working on this today. Let's, all become maxes and just make a rust bucket.
Yeah,
love
stuff.
Love it. We got a giant horde coming, 5 Dromais, and all these dragons come spawn and wipe them out in 10 seconds.
Dude. You're right. I love it.
You're cheat coding.
Last one, Sully says they would have Lexi, Riptide, Phi, Chain, and Teklo. No explanation for any of them, but it's a pretty solid team. I think Teklo would be good in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
With that suit, too. He ain't
Meklo.
gonna bite through that suit, dude.
No.
Good luck.
Nah, man, he's the mastermind. He's the CEO in Raccoon City, man.
No, he's the dude with the virus and the antivirus. He's the one who set off the zombie outbreak. Just to give everyone the antivirus. It's all a setup by Teklo, guys.
It is.
Okay, let's move on to a few more questions. Dylan asks, what's your guys' thoughts about hate drafting? As someone who has been hate drafted before, in parentheses, he says, looking at Bailey and Josh.
Yeah.
When is it the right option to hate draft? Or is it never a good option?
When is the right option?
I think hate drafting in Fab is a little harder to, justify maybe, because you don't really want to draft unplayables. And with the class system, well, it would be like in Magic, where if you like see you're a red-green deck and you see like a white card that's a bomb or something, and you would just take it because you don't want to see that card, or you don't want to play against it. I mean, it's the same thing goes for Fab, you know?
Yeah.
Like in Bright Lights, you probably aren't hate drafting much because you're like able to play all the cards anyways. But in other sets, like hate drafting equipment, I know can be a thing.
Yeah.
But then you're like left with all the equipment.
So
looking at you, Dylan.
When you ask when is the right time to hate draft, the right time to do it is when the guy next to you
maybe you know they're on something and you're pack 3. Yep.
And there's a red Bonds of Ancestry that goes right by you, and you look at it and you go, ugh.
So that's what I think he's referring to in his question when he put in parentheses, Josh. That day he actually had the Dishonor line. But he didn't have enough like red bonds and stuff.
He only had one, and I
know.
I hate drafted like I think one red bonds. I think Bailey hate drafted a yellow, and then I hate drafted also like 1 or 2 Descendant Gust Waves as like my hate draft picks, and then my Arachne was still gas.
Yeah, still fine.
So
if it's not going to cost you, then I think maybe it's the right option. And if the card is actually like a bomb, and you know that you're hamstringing your opponent, if you kind of can tell what he's on, and it's pack 3, like I said, or pack 2 maybe even. But
because I saw the Dishonor go by round 1, and I was like, oh shit. And then
knew who was picking that.
Well, that line might actually happen in draft. I was like, I'm not going to let that happen.
Right. Yeah.
So
for sure,
Dylan, I'm sorry that I had to do it to you that day, though. I had to. I mean, it's the opportunity had to be taken. Is all I can say.
What about you, Cliff? What do you think about hate drafting?
I think that there is a time for it, but you have to pick what cards you hate draft very carefully. You know?
Yeah.
Because, like you guys said, it's so easy to get caught in that hate draft loop, and then you're on pack 3, and your deck is like, well, looks like I'm playing crack baubles.
Exactly. And a lot of times when you do hate draft or you see someone do that, it kind of bites them, and they are forced to run the baubles. So yeah, if you can prevent that from happening, I would say it's fine. But I, for the most part, would just I would argue drafting a card that's usable would always almost be better than drafting a card that isn't. I digress. We have a question from Nos Guy, our local judge. He asks, how did Bailey do at the Armory? He started 0-2, but he didn't drop.
No.
I think he won. He went on to win round 3, and he went 1-2, and then dropped.
Yep. Hey, he only took up half his name there.
Yep. Wes asks right after that. He said, "Same question, but for Ben."
We've already been over this. We don't need to go back into this.
I think
he's no state-held secret. Nobody else has to know what happened on that day.
I think
we're just purging it from the memory. Nothing else will ever happen. Unknown. We're doing a system reset. I'm taking a book.
System failure. System failure. System reset.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Cliff.
System failure. System reset. Never happens.
Bio updating.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. James 1010 asks, if you could erase one card from existence, what would you pick and why?
Think below.
Dude, it's the dumbest choice. You cannot pick Sink Below.
I'm here to be Pandora's box, motherfucker. Get that card out of here and show me who's made.
All right. Well,
that card is a crutch, and so
are you just saying that because you got Command and Conquered with this thing?
If I had to get rid of one card from existence,
no, maybe a little bit, but no.
Would be
really just like. Oh, sorry, Josh.
We're pushing the 2-hour mark right now, buddy.
We're almost done.
We're almost there. If I were to delete any card from existence, I think it would have to be Squirtle base set.
Wait, what the fuck? It took me a second to fucking...
What?
Is it first edition?
Yeah. because I don't have it. So we're gonna hate it.
Mine would be Warmongers for sure. I think that.
If we're talking Fab, yeah, that too.
Why would a Squirtle ever watch it? Like, what did it ever do to
I
you,
don't know.
man?
I don't
Sitting
have
there
it.
using bubble
I
for
don't
10
have
damage
it, bro.
or whatever.
I don't have it. That's the problem.
I see. Okay. So it's like an envy thing.
Yes.
Gotcha. No, I would pick Warmongers though. Yeah, that card single-handedly just says like, no, you don't get to play. Well, to some decks. And I don't think a card, like in Fab, I don't think one card should ever have that kind of power.
No.
With the turn cycle kind of way the game is played and stuff. When you have a card that kind of like lasts more than a turn, it can get weird. And you see it with that card, how it just steals tempo. Single-handedly, you can kind of block out for 9 and then just play Warmongers for 0 to draw back up usually and, go kind of into your next turn with a full grip. Not have to worry about it, which is kind of bonkers. We actually have one more question and then we are done.
It's a good one.
No, it is a good one. Dylan said he says, scared to ask this question. I know Fab as a game is not dying, but do you guys think with seeing so many people in Minnesota selling their collections, do you think the game is dying?
Not if you have a good community.
Yeah, you look around our shop and what we have going, and it's definitely not dying. It's, if anything, it's growing.
See, that could be the cause of other shops dying.
Well, no, we're not. Well, maybe Zach. I know we have a player that's come. He came to our skirmish, and then he actually came to an armory of ours. I remember playing against Zach in the RTNs throughout the years and stuff in the ProQuest skirmishes and stuff. I actually should ask him next time I see him what maybe brought him out to the shop, or if that was a product of his shop maybe closing or something. But I know he still plays in the cities. So, and there are still a couple good spots in the cities that people play at. But no, I think like a lot of when you see like someone selling their collection, when you look deeper into it, it's because of like their friends getting out of the game. I know we lost a local named Cortez. The person he's referring to, his name's Tony. I think I played against Tony a couple times. Bates is also getting out of the game. Mm-hmm. He was our head judge for the first few years of our tenure in the competitive kind of scene in Minnesota. Bates was always there. Bates was he's a great dude. Well invested player. But yeah, it does seem like our local scene is changing. You go to these kind of, this season especially, we would go to the ProQuest and it's like all new faces. You almost rarely see the old faces.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that is just the product of like these past 2 sets have not done enough to shake things up and reinvigorate players. I think if anything, it's kind of made them go like the opposite. Like with Dusk Till Dawn, if you weren't playing those heroes, you kind of like reach to the top of the hill and you're like, oh, okay, well, what the hell am I doing? And then Bright Lights go out and then you just start going down that hill and you're just going down more and more and you're just like, wait, what's happening? This is 2 sets in a row is like, that's I mean, being based around one specific hero or class or talent or what have you. I think that definitely played a part in it. I don't think the game's dying. I just think we're going through like an ebb and flow. Whichever
phase.
Whichever is the bottom part of the graph, was it the flow or the ebb? Is the ebb up or the flow? Whatever we're on the bottom of the graph.
Yeah.
And we're about to go back up with this heavy hitters, and this whole new year is going to be 15 plus new heroes. So I think we're starting to get back on track, and we're starting to.
I'm excited for the new year to see where they go.
Yeah, man. I think there's a lot of excitement around the game still. I just think in small areas and small pockets of the communities, you see it all the time. People selling out, and a lot of that is due to. I know Tony said his friends weren't in the game anymore, which that's a big part of it. You don't have friends playing. Why are you playing?
Why are you playing? Yeah.
Yep. So I would say it is not dying.
No.
But it
just
is
changing.
It's slowed down a bit, and it did change. We did lose a lot of players along the way with these last couple sets and stuff. Mm-hmm. But Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts? I kind of just did a long-winded thing there.
I completely agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
Not much more to add to that, really. I think it's just the changing of the game. People are, they like, we're not really in a triangle meta. We were in a triangle meta for so long, so we did lose a lot of players, as in like Jason that we know in Minnesota and
Yeah, the Outcast Haven guys.
Yeah, the Outcast Haven guys. So, games can push people out just by the shifts and the things that they do with their products. So, I'm not bashing LSS for anything or what they're doing. I think it's good what they're gonna do in this next year, and I'm excited for it. So
yeah, same here.
I hope the game doesn't die out.
Cliff, would you have anything to add to that before we get out of here?
Honestly, the only thing I have to add is just the continuation of my earlier statement. They've just got to find a way to keep the hype real. As soon as the hype dies for this game, then it's really going to start heading south. They just need to keep... I honestly think they need to do pretty regular draftable sets with new heroes.
Yep. I think this year is going to be a big... it'll be the right step, or a step in the right direction, I'll say, with the amount of heroes that are supposed to come out and the sets being draftable. The shake-up with the LL system and how fast things are going to be LLing now, and like we're going to be getting a real, truly, it'll feel like a rotation, really, or a soft rotation, whatever you want to call it. I think that will be good for the game, though. It depends on the heroes we're going to get, obviously, if they're well-designed and maybe new classes. I know we've seen a lot of the same old classes. We need some new stuff. Necromancer, Alchemist, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I hope we answered that question to the fullest, Dylan. And really appreciate all you guys being so... lively in the Discord. It's been awesome to go to that every once in a while during the week and
chat it up with everyone.
Yeah, see all your guys' questions and stuff.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. But let's wrap this up, boys, and get the fuck out of here.
Well, we appreciate you guys, like Ty said, for joining us today. And if you stuck it out this long, all the way to the 2-hour mark, we appreciate it.
There's a couple of them.
Way to be a trooper.
Dylan's for sure listening.
Way to be a trooper. We appreciate it. And, we're just going to keep continuing, keep going, keep striving. I know we're supposed to get some more spoilers scheduled this Saturday. So
you guys want to do,
we'll do some of those.
Crucible review?
So. Yeah, do a little Crucible review next
week.
Week.
The first two sets, so we are on the third one.
Big episode 19.
Do you want to do it next week?
Should we? Is there much news?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There'll probably be some Battle Hardens and stuff.
Yeah. But, check us out on our Discord. Link is always in the show notes. Check out the Twitter if you want to get a hold of us, or even in the Discord. That's the best way,
I would say just come ask some questions in the Discord. It's open to the public. Anyone can join and ask whatever you want.
And then we are on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Maybe some other places. I'm not sure. But find us anywhere and let us know how we do. We always love your appreciation and criticism at the same time. Let us know what we can improve on. But thank you again, and we'll catch you next week on 19. Peace.
See ya.
As always, it's a pleasure.